up, nerds? So in today's video, we're going to be continuing our What to Watch and What to Not series, MCU edition. This is episode 2. We're going to be covering the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Basically, a recap of what the series is basically covering which projects after Endgame are worth watching and which ones are not. For the ones that are worth watching, great, go watch them. They're fantastic and they're worth your time. But the ones that are not worth your time, I'm going to be giving you a little in-depth analysis of basically what happened, so you don't have to watch that whole 2-hour movie or that whole 6 or 7 hour show. So if you do enjoy, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more videos just like this in the future. We're going to be doing Loki and Deadpool and Wolverine coming out and other movie reviews in the future, so look out for those. So now, let's get into the setup of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We start in Captain America, the Winter Soldier, where Sam Wilson meets Steve Rogers and they bond over serving for the military. And Sam says, hey, I fly. Cap obviously assumes that he's just a pilot. He flies with literal wings, so yeah, that's pretty cool. And in that same movie, they fight Cap's old friend, Bucky, from the 1940s, who was experimented on and tortured and was forced to kill a lot of people that he didn't mean to kill. Steve in The Winter Soldier was able to snap Bucky out of the trance of him being the Winter Soldier a little bit, but then back in Civil War, Zemo was able to put him back into that trance using some special words. Through the events of Civil War and after that, Bucky and Sam became really good friends, but then it didn't really matter because Thanos then snapped away half of the universe for about 5 years, and then 5 years later, the Avengers got them all back. Cap was able to go live his dream life with Peggy, but then came back as an old man and gave Sam the shield because I guess he didn't trust the guy who had been, literally, brainwashed and, killed a bunch of people. I don't think people would trust him to take on the moniker, the icon of Captain America. And that's where the series leads us. So let's get into it. Episode 1 starts with Sam Wilson as Falcon, not Captain America. And he gets into a dogfight and he's flying through the air and it's really cool. And he has assistance from somebody on the ground named Joaquin Torres, who actually becomes the Falcon later on, and we'll see that in Cap 4. But Sam's actually fighting somebody familiar to Cap, Batroc from The Winter Soldier, where Sam was actually introduced. Sam ultimately decides to give up the shield and gives it to the government to put into the Cap Museum, but they have other plans. We then cut to Bucky with his horrific, gruesome attack as the Winter Soldier. But that's just a flashback. So then we flash forward to his therapy session where he's learning to forgive himself for killing all those people because it wasn't his fault. And in that therapy session, he realizes something, his new friend, and he accidentally killed his son. We finally get our first look at the Flag Smashers. Joaquin Torres decides to go over there and says, oh yeah, I'm just gonna pretend I'm one of the Flag Smashers, and then gets curb stomped by one of them. But then we cut back to Sam, and he tries to get a loan for his sister for a boat and a house. The bank guy's all buddy-buddy with him, and he's all good, let's take a picture, or whatever, but then denies him the money for the loan, even though their family had been working for that for years. And just because they were both gone during the blip, then they didn't have money, and that's just, there's new rules and whatever, which, if that really happened, that would be crazy, and they could probably do that, which is nuts. And then the episode ends with the government giving the shield to some random US military guy. A few days after Sam gave it away to put it in the museum, they said, you know what, here you go. We then meet the new Captain America, John Walker. And the guy, you see videos and all that, he seems pretty legit. He's had medals of honor, and he's whoa, his accomplishments meet up to where Cap is, but his heart doesn't, and that's what we'll see in this series. Sam and Bucky then chase the new Flag Smashers onto a truck, and they're carrying stolen vaccines and medicine and all that, and then they get into a fight with the Flag Smashers, and then is interrupted by the new Captain America, John Walker, and his sidekick, Lamar. And then, did I just see that right? Just Cap with the shield, whatever, gun! What the and he just shoots him. No, he doesn't care. It's I feel like Cap probably definitely killed people in the movies, but not like that. We learned the motive of the Flag Smashers is they want the people that were in power before the blip, that were bad, to not come back after the blip. Bucky then introduces Sam to Isaiah Bradley, a black super soldier who fought against Bucky when he was the Winter Soldier. Isaiah then tells a story that he was tortured, experimented on, and then put in jail for 30 years. And Sam is pissed about this. He feels like he deserved to know, that was bad, and Bucky tries to explain that he feels like he wanted him to have peace and that he was out of jail and he was just living on his own and he didn't want to bother him with all the superhero stuff. And then out of left field, Sam gets racially profiled. Kind of insane. I was just in shock when I saw this. I didn't know what to even think of it. And I still don't know what to think of it, but that was crazy. We then see Walker get pissed off with Sam and Bucky because they won't work with him. And he's got this look in his eyes, and we see why he shouldn't have the shield. Bucky then realizes a really sad truth. The only way they're going to be able to figure out who created the serum is somebody with Hydra-level intel, and that's Zemo. So they gotta go break him out of prison. So in episode 3, that's exactly what Bucky does. We then see Carly Morgenthau with some random woman, and she's dying and she's crying over her body. Obviously someone important to her. We'll get to that. Zemo, Sam, and Bucky all go into Madripoor disguise. We then find Sharon Carter in Madripoor because she has to be off the grid because of what happened in Civil War, where she helped them when they were fugitives. We then get to see Zemo just hit, like, one of the dance moves I would probably hit in that environment, in that, like, rave environment. I'd probably just... we're white. That's all I gotta say. We then meet the person who created the new version of the super soldier serum, Dr. Nagel, something like that. He talks about how he experimented on somebody that had the serum in his system, and we realized that it was Isaiah Bradley. Zemo then kills Dr. Nagel because he doesn't want anybody else to be a super soldier. We then learn that Carly was crying over somebody she calls Mama Danya, and explains that she wanted to be a teacher just like her. So I'm guessing this is just somebody that took her in as a child during the blip. I don't know if she lost her family during the blip, or she was an orphan, or what happened. But it's obviously somebody that a lot of people looked up to. And then Carly blows up a building with innocent people in it, with no remorse, because she wants to send a message, I guess. We then see Bucky look down on the ground and realize he's being tracked by Io, a member of the Dora Milaje, and that ends episode 3. In episode 4, we get a flashback to Bucky being cleansed of the Winter Soldier mind control in Wakanda. Later in the episode, we see Sam meet Carly at the memorial for Mama Danya, her teacher, her caretaker, somebody that she really looked up to. So Sam tries to talk her down and gets to try to relate with her. But John Walker decides he's gonna get antsy. It's been literally like not even 10 minutes, and he's already pushing Bucky out of the way, and he somehow gets past Bucky without the serum. So I don't know how he did that, but whatever. What really sucked was that Sam was actually getting to Carly, so it would have worked, but then John Walker decided he was just gonna barge in. Zemo then charges at Carly as she runs away from everybody, and he gets to her, and he's got a gun, and he's not afraid to shoot her. So he shoots her, but then tries to scare her, and then she drops the serum, and he is fascinated, and he destroys every single one except one. Then John Walker walks in, stops Zemo, throwing a shield at him, and then he finds one serum left. He takes it. Walker and Lamar run into the Dora Milaje as they both try to get Zemo, and then Zemo gets away anyways. At this point, Walker took the serum, so that little bit of bad in him is getting amplified. Him and Lamar go, and they find Carly, and they try to go get the Flag Smashers, and they try to capture them, but then Lamar gets punched into a pole, and he dies. And John Walker does not take kindly to this. He jumps through a window, chases the guy that didn't even kill Lamar in front of a lot of people with a lot of cameras, literally splits him in half with the shield, leaving blood and stains and everything on the legacy of Captain America. The symbol, the legacy, the shield. And weirdly enough, in the coolest shot of the show, we see an upper angle of John Walker standing there crazy-eyed with blood all over the shield, and it was really cool. Episode 5, we start with Bucky and Sam heading over and trying to talk down Walker and trying to just give him a time to just give up the shield and everything be fine and they can talk it out. He does not take kindly to that, so they fight and he gets absolutely beat up. Walker is then forced to talk to the government and he gets pissed off. He freaks out and he says that he's dedicated his life to their mandates, and he freaks out and just says, I did everything you asked of me, and you're betraying me like this, which isn't completely true. He, killed somebody, and they didn't say, oh yeah, go kill somebody, just cause. So then we get to meet Val, somebody who's going to be working outside of the government. We'll see where that heads. The Thunderbolts. The Dora Milaje come, and they take Zemo. Bucky says, one more favor, because when Walker fought Falcon, he kind of chopped off his wings. Sam then talks to Isaiah Bradley. Isaiah believes that Captain America can't be black, which you would think the opposite. Like, he would want him to represent him, right? He sees it as they, treated with us with no respect, so why should we give back to them? But the way Sam sees it is he is using Captain America as somebody taking on the history and the rudeness and the disgusting acts of America as one person, as one icon, and taking those flaws in and deciding that what is best for the entire world, not just the country, the entire world. That's what makes Falcon perfect, makes Sam perfect to be Captain America. And the episode ends with everybody going to New York to stop the meeting for the GRC. But first we get a post-credit scene of John Walker saying, you know what, you're going to take the shield from me? I'm going to make another one. So he makes a homemade shield with a part of his Medal of Honor straight on the back of it. As he's looking at the shield, he can see the Medal of Honor, and he just pushes them. That rage, all his life living of those mandates, he doesn't care anymore. He's just gonna go for it, and he's gonna go crazy. Episode 6 starts with Sam soaring through the sky with his new wings, with his new suit, with the shield flying through a window, and then the craziest pan shot of the coolest suit I've ever seen. It looks amazing. And then Carly goes from kind of reasonable, understandable, whatever, to absolutely crazy, saying, doesn't matter if we die, let's just kill the hostages, worst case scenario. If we die, it doesn't matter, our message will get out. The Flag Smashers are like, are you crazy? She's insane now, I guess. Walker then pulls up and screams, Morgenthau! And he looks so awesome, and he's scary, and it's great. But then he gets beat up most of the time. But the few scenes that he's actually doing well, it's pretty cool. We then figure out that Sharon Carter is the power broker, which kind of disappointing. I kind of wish it was somebody else, but it is what it is. Sharon then kills Carly, and Sam takes her and just shows the world that, she's just a young girl. She did a lot of crazy stuff, but the message behind it was understandable. Sam gives a great speech overall, but a lot of the speech he's doing more of a telling rather than a showing. Oh, you gotta do better, you gotta do better. But a lot of scenarios, I wouldn't know what to do, but if you're Captain America, you gotta talk it out a little bit more than just do better. The Flag Smashers that were captured are getting sent in trucks, and they're gonna go to the raft, and Zemo's there. So his butler said, you know what, I'm gonna blow them all up. And he blows up all the cars that took the Flag Smashers to the prison. And then we get our first look at US Agent, and he looks amazing. I can't wait to see this guy in the Thunderbolts and see him in real action, and he can just go off. Bucky then tells his friend that he did kill his son, and obviously he was pissed, so he kicked him out, but Bucky felt like he needed to tell him that because he deserved to know. Sam then goes back to Isaiah to talk to him, and he's like, oh, hey, look, I'm Captain America, but he was really there to show him that he put a memorial of him at the Cap Museum because he thought that the world deserved to know his name. Bucky and Sam then go back to Sam's house and spend time with his family and the people he grew up with, and the title card comes up as Captain America and the Winter Soldier. It should have been Captain America and the White Wolf, because he's not really the Winter Soldier anymore. He's kind of cleansed of that. Even through Wakanda, he wasn't fully cleansed, but now as he's forgiven himself and has told the people that he was very sorry and it wasn't him. And then we see the post-credit scene. We get Sharon Carter getting her pardon that Sam promised her. But she's not going to use it for good. Of course, she's the power broker. So says on the phone, hey, probably to Kingpin, hey, you know that movie Armor Wars? We're going to make it interesting. So why are you going to watch The Falcon and Winter Soldier? Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie's dynamic, that chemistry is amazing. Zemo and John Walker as the villains were amazing. It made the show so worth it to watch. And amazing suits that represented each character, with Sam in an amazing Captain America suit, and then even John Walker getting a bit of a goofy Captain America suit in the beginning, but then getting a really cool US Agent suit. And overall, I think if you're going to watch it, you should be watching it for the amazing choreography and the fight scenes. They look amazing. Why should you not watch The Falcon and Winter Soldier? I think there was a plot line that was something with a virus or a bio weapon that they used, and it was all around COVID when this happened. So if there was some virus storyline where they brought the medicine and it was a whole thing, Like, I don't think that would have been good for Disney to handle. And then Sam trying to defend Carly, like, it's one thing if he's trying to defend, hey, like, she had some really good points, like, you guys were kind of messing up, but, like, she's a terrorist. Like, let's stop saying, like, oh, don't call her a terrorist. She blew up innocent people, and she just had no remorse for them. Like, I know he didn't hear that, but, like, she didn't. She was gonna kill innocent people until she was killed. And then I think another main problem is that there was a lot of talking in the series. Like, it got boring sometimes. Like, they kind of got, like, carried away with it. Like, there was a lot of scenes with just Sam just talking with his family. Like, it's fine to include some of that, but it's ultimately, like, a superhero series. Like, that's what we want to see. We want to see them being superheroes, you know? There has to be some, like, hard topics to talk about, but when he's just like, oh, this is a boat, we're going to be fixing the boat. And it's like, okay, you can put a few scenes of that. It's, like, a lot of the show, which is kind of weird. For the future of the MCU, this probably sets up Cap 4, Thunderbolts, Armor Wars, and Avengers 5. And it proves that Marvel can do another political thriller, and it can be actually good. However, getting to our ranking, we have this as a D-. It's a 6.2 out of 10. If you really like political thrillers, like, it's fine, it's good. But it's not the best thing Marvel's come out with. I feel like I could be a little low on this, but there was a lot of it that just was kind of boring. I think my recap here is enough to just go off of, and you can watch little clips of it, but if you're just, like, not really in the mood to watch it, then don't watch it. There's a Cat movie coming out soon. Just go watch that. I'm sure you won't be totally lost when that comes out. And that's the end of the video, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more videos like this in the future. We're going to get into Loki next. What to watch and what to not. Loki, episode 3. I also have a really fun new series for this channel that's really exciting, but I want to make sure I do that at the right time, so I'm making sure that the videos are good quality, because that's what you guys deserve. And as always, make sure to have a fantastic day, and if you cannot have a fantastic day today, have a fantastic day tomorrow. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later, nerds!